Most people don't lose power because they're weak. They lose it because they react. You ever seen someone completely right in an argument, but they still lost? Why? Because their voice cracked, their emotions flared, and suddenly they looked unstable. Truth didn't matter. Control did. This video isn't about learning how to win arguments. It's about something more dangerous: becoming unshaken. Machiavelli once wrote, "He who controls himself controls the battlefield." That's where we begin. If you can stay calm while chaos erupts around you, if you can hold your posture while others fall apart, you become untouchable. Not just respected, feared. So let's start with the first lesson. People don't follow the loudest voice, they follow the calmest presence. Think about it. When a room gets tense, who do people turn to? The one shouting, or the one who's quiet, composed, calculating? Exactly. Calmness doesn't just look powerful, it is power. In confrontations, people don't just listen to what you say, they read how you carry yourself. Your breathing, your posture, your tone. These are the real weapons. Most people prepare what they're going to say, but they forget the most important part: how they're going to be. So before you walk into any conflict, forget rehearsing lines. Focus on your presence. Breathe slower. Speak deeper. Hold eye contact longer. Because in a storm of emotion, stillness stands out. It commands attention. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to weaponize silence, own tension, and walk through fire without flinching. Let's go deeper. But calmness isn't something you do, it's something you become. In confrontation, your presence speaks louder than your words. People read your steadiness before they hear your argument. That's why being emotionally grounded turns into psychological leverage. Start with your body. Before your brain even processes a threat, your body reacts. So reverse engineer it. Fix the body and the mind will follow. Slow your breathing. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Let it be deliberate. Controlled breathing silences panic and invites clarity. Now posture, firm, not stiff. Stand or sit with quiet authority. Eyes locked, shoulders balanced, not a single movement wasted. Because every twitch, every shake tells others you're not in control. And then your voice. No need to rush. Speak slower than you think. Lower your tone, not forced, but grounded. Strategic silence is not awkward, it's power. It draws others into your rhythm, not the chaos. This is how you disarm manipulative energy. When others yell, provoke, overreact, you don't match them. You don't feed it. You absorb nothing. That imbalance unsettles them. They lose footing. You gain ground. Machiavelli warned, "He who controls himself controls others." So confrontations are not about winning arguments. They're about maintaining state. The moment you hold your frame, you're already ahead. Stay calm. Stay unreadable. Because the less you reveal, the more others project. And that projection, you can use. But presence alone isn't enough. You must learn the art of detachment. Because here's the truth. When someone criticizes you, disrespects you, or tries to humiliate you in front of others, your first instinct will be to react. But reacting emotionally means they've already won. Detachment is what separates the strategic from the impulsive. It's not about not caring. It's about not letting emotions hijack your response. It's about being able to observe the storm without being pulled into it. Machiavelli said, "A wise man does what he must, not what he feels." That's the mindset. You feel anger, insult, or anxiety, but you pause, you breathe, you respond with strategy, not emotion. That's what makes you powerful. Imagine you're in a heated meeting. You've made your case, but someone cuts you off, challenges you, tries to undermine you. You could fire back. Or you could pause, look them in the eye, and say calmly, "That's a fair concern. Let's walk through it." You instantly disarm them. You shift the room's energy. They expected heat, but got poise. That's control. And control is influence. Because here's the twist. When you don't react, people start reacting to you. Your calm presence creates tension for others. They begin to question themselves. Why isn't he fazed? Does he know something I don't? That uncertainty makes them cautious. You've already shifted the dynamic. And if this is hitting home, if you're starting to see how composure becomes your secret weapon, then you're already stepping into a different level of power. So if you're serious about building this skill, do one thing right now. Subscribe. Calmness isn't just about staying neutral. It's a power move. When emotions rise in the room, your stillness becomes a spotlight. People instinctively look toward the calmest presence, not the loudest. That's leverage. Because now, without saying a word, you become the reference point. Machiavelli observed, "Real authority isn't given, it's taken by presence." It's the person who stays calm in chaos that becomes the center of gravity. Let's say you're in a heated discussion at work. Everyone's interrupting, voices clash, tension's boiling. But you breathe slow, eyes steady, you wait. Eventually, the room slows down because your calmness subconsciously signals leadership. And when you finally speak, everyone listens. That's not manipulation. That's understanding human behavior. People don't follow the smartest, they follow the steadiest. And the more you show this calm confidence, the more it becomes part of your identity. You don't need to prove yourself constantly. People start to treat you with quiet respect. And that respect, it spreads. Be the person they turn to, not because you're loud, but because you're reliable. Be the calm in the storm, and you'll never have to ask for authority again. It will be handed to you naturally. Let's push further. The fifth principle of staying unshaken in any confrontation is to embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. Most people instinctively back off when they feel pressure, because discomfort feels like danger. But Machiavelli understood a crucial truth. Discomfort is not your enemy. Reaction is. When you're able to sit with discomfort without reacting, you gain clarity others never reach. Someone insults you. Instead of reacting with heat, you observe. You let it pass through you. You study it. Now you're not just in control. You're gathering intelligence. You're seeing how they operate, where they strike, and what that reveals about their weakness. Discomfort is the battlefield. If you can stand still while others squirm, you win, without even needing to move. Now here's a Machiavellian insight worth remembering. Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. In modern terms, people are more hurt by perceived disrespect than real damage. So if you can maintain calm, even when accused, disrespected, or misunderstood, you become untouchable. You give them no wound to exploit, no reaction to weaponize. Imagine this in action. You're in a heated room, voices are loud, accusations flying, but your face, still. Your breathing, steady. Your voice, controlled. You don't escalate. You let others burn themselves out while you remain the calm center of gravity. And here's where the shift happens. They start reacting to you, because nothing is more intimidating than someone who isn't intimidated. By now you're seeing the pattern. Stillness signals strength. Calmness confuses chaos. Composure crushes manipulation. And if this mindset is resonating with you, then this is exactly the kind of strategy we break down on this channel. So take a second, subscribe now, not for hype, but to build a mind that bends to no one. Because the deeper we go, the more power you'll unlock. They expect you to explode, to lose your cool. That's their game. But the moment you stay calm, when the pressure is at its peak, you break their pattern. And that's when control shifts. Machiavelli believed in strategy over reaction. He knew the person who controls their own emotions controls the battlefield. And here's where the subtlety lies. Calmness isn't the absence of emotion. It's discipline. It's choosing not to react on impulse, but to respond with intention. When you pause, breathe, observe before acting, you project something rare, power without noise. And in today's world, that silence speaks louder than any outburst ever could. Because when you stay calm, they start to doubt their attack. They hesitate. And in that hesitation, you win. Remember, the strongest move is often no move at all. But here's the truth no one tells you. People don't challenge calm for long. At first, they might test your limits. They'll try to shake you, push your buttons, throw subtle jabs, or outright provocations. Why? Because they're used to getting reactions. Reactions give them power. But when you respond with silence, when your breath stays steady and your eyes focused, something strange happens. They hesitate. Their tactics lose impact. And slowly, the dynamic flips. The one who doesn't react starts to control the pace. That's when you shift from defense to quiet dominance. Remember what Machiavelli observed. He who masters himself masters others. This isn't about suppression. It's about choosing your response rather than being ruled by impulse. And when you become the kind of person who stays calm, not just once, but every time, you stop being seen as someone to argue with. You're seen as someone to follow. That's how power quietly transfers, through consistency, not control. The truth is, most people will never master this. They'll keep reacting instead of responding. They'll keep exploding instead of observing. And they'll wonder why they never win the real battles, at work, in relationships, in life. But you now know the formula. You understand that true power isn't about control over others. It's about control over yourself. You've seen how calmness disarms chaos, how presence reshapes perception, how silence becomes a weapon, and how detachment grants clarity. Now imagine what happens when you live this, not just in one argument, but in every confrontation, every storm, every moment that once shook you. People will sense it. They'll adjust to it. They'll respect it. So if this breakdown gave you real value, if even one idea helped rewire your thinking, then share this video. You never know who's out there drowning in emotional chaos, needing exactly this message. Like it. Subscribe. Let's build a mindset army where strength isn't loud, it's unshakable. And now, here's the question I want you to answer in the comments. What's harder for you? Staying silent when someone disrespects you, or staying calm when your ego wants revenge? Your answer might just shift someone else's entire mindset. Drop it below, and remember, the strongest person in the room isn't the one who wins the argument. It's the one who doesn't need to. Stay unshaken. Stay strategic. Stay dangerous.